G'day guys, welcome back to SuperCoach with DR and welcome to the Round 17 review. Hope you had a cracking week yourself. Look, for me, had a decent weekend. Today I actually went down and watched my little fella Maxi play in the under-11s, and there was a bloke there, just behind the huddle, and I thought, he looks bloody familiar. Who is this bloke? Just couldn't put my finger on it, and I thought, do you know what? I reckon that's Bo McCreary, but I still wasn't sure. So did a real shifty. So had my phone there, just pretending I was on it. Just lifted her up, boom, little photo there. Then circled his head, popped it on Twitter, and I said, "Can someone help me out here? Is this actually Bo McCreary or not? Because I don't want to look like a dickhead, going up to him. Bo, how are you, mate?" And he gives me a strange look. But it was him. So I ended up having a chat with him. And I tell you what, an absolutely ripping bloke as well. Had a chat to my son as well. Really encouraging. How you going? Good game type thing. So, yeah, long story short, I think he's going out with the coach's daughter. So, Maxi's coach's daughter. So, yeah, shout out to you, Bo McCreary. You are an absolute ripper, mate. So, yeah, great to meet him. Today, went to the Crom Essendon game, so went there with my best mate Brent. Also caught up with Spills there. I reckon I met 3 or 4 blokes as well that watch your channel. So shout out to all of you legends. Jeff, there was Lazar, Ben. Forget the 4th one. Sorry, mate. But yeah, shout out to you as well, buddy. Always great to meet people as well that watch your channel. Lots of banter. I was actually standing actually with the Crom crew. And tell you what, they are a very passionate bunch there, but couldn't get the chocolates today. Brent was spewing. Spills would have been doing cartwheels. Good to catch up with Spills' brother, Doyle, as well. So shout out to you, legends. So yeah, all in all, pretty good weekend of footy for me. Lions obviously took care of West Coast, but geez, thought they could have done it by a little bit more. But 4 points banked at the end of the day, some percentage. That's all good. So back to SuperCoach. So 25-28 this week. Yeah, not fantastic. I thought I'm making a big move, making a very big move, and this is last week, obviously, and you probably would have seen my video, and I ended up trading out Josh Dunkley. I thought I want to get a real advantage on the competition here over having to play like a win-taker for possibly not just this week, but next week with Seagull out and possibly Dunkley out again. So I did make a trade there, got some money in the bank to make another big move this week if I choose to do so. But at the end of the day, it didn't give me too many more points on field this week. It was pretty disappointing, but I think it was about 15 extra points. Every little point helps, I suppose. But yeah, pretty disappointed because, in some of my leagues, I think I only won 5 out of my 10 leagues this week. So just goes to show that a 25-28 isn't actually that fantastic. A 2,500 always sounds good, but it just depends week upon week how other people are going. Season rank now, 7,715. So the goal is to get to 5K. Will I get there? I hope so. I haven't really done any calculations or the maths this week on how far back I am, but I did go up just over 500 spots, 501 spots. So I'll take that. Another green arrow. At least I'm not seeing red. Hopefully with a potential move that I make this week, we'll see another green arrow in round 18. But that's it for now, guys, for the intro. Hope that you're all well. Let's see how the team's actually doing. Alrighty, so as you can see, I have a fair bit of extra cash in the bank this week, 167,700 with the 3 trades and the 1 boost, which I won't bloody use. But that's another story. As I said the other video, I just need to get over that. Boost unused. Lesson learned for next year, be more aggressive with them. But yeah, the big move I made last week was actually to trade out Josh Dunkley. So reasons being, I had the information that Lloyd was definitely going to be out this week with concussion, and we've seen with the Sydney players when they have had concussion before, it can take a little bit of extra time for them to get back. Don't know if he's got any problems with his jaw. I know he was feeling for his jaw. Hopefully not. I hope it's just the 1 week, but it will definitely be a week. Still don't know what's going on with Josh Dunkley either. So that were 2 concerns for me, and I thought, look, that means that I'll have to play someone like a win-taker on field as that 22nd type player, and then if there's more carnage, then it's like a marriage type, and I just really didn't want to risk that. So I did decide to use some DPP, and one thing that I really wanted to do when I made the Dunkley trade was to make sure that I get in a solid premium, but also bank some money to be able to upgrade one of these so-called fake premiums that I've got in my side. So the bloke that I did get in is in the midfield, Caleb's wrong. I keep on calling him the Schlong because Brent has nicknamed him the Schlong. So, sorry, Caleb, but yeah, that's what he rolls with, mate, the old Schlong there. But look, we'll start with the back line anyway. Nicky D, 139. Lots of people had the VC on him, would have been really rejoicing. And I thought, oh, geez, did we make the wrong decision here in sticking with Lockie Neal? But in the end, all good. But yeah, the King Dacos just continues to rack up Brownlow votes. Going to be tough to knock off, I think, this year. Tommy Stewart didn't actually watch this game. The only game I watched today was obviously the Crom and the Dons live, so didn't catch any of the other ones, just looking at the app and scores from time to time. But Tommy Stewart with the 124, fantastic. Again, very highly owned player in the top ranked coaches. Jordan Dawson watched this bloke live for the first time, so that was really good. 127 points. He was just fantastic. So that left foot really set up well behind the ball as well, and really used his voice. And tells the captain out there, because really directive, and yeah, really impressed with what I saw from Geordie today. Rory Laird, look, it was an okay game. I'm sort of jumped in the midfield here, but I watched him play live as well. I thought it was about a 117, so not overly clean at times, but, you know, got some of the hard ball, you know, those clearances always running to. It's just, it was a bit of a, no, I wouldn't say a disappointing game from him, but just no X-Factor type stuff from Laird. And we don't expect that from him from week to week, but yeah, I was expecting just a little bit more from him today. But yeah, back to the back line. Will Day, what do you expect with this bloke? I'm just not too sure. And originally he was going to be part of my trade plans this week, but again, I'm really questioning things. We'll go through that after I go quickly through the side here, but he used the ball really well this week. What's been tough for Will has been his use of the ball. You know that he's had opposition attention. That wasn't necessarily the case last week. But this week just looked on, got a lot of the ball, and as I mentioned, just used it well, and that translates to good points. So 107 from him after, a 65 the week before, a 140 odd. So he is absolutely all over the shop with his scoring, which worries me as an owner. But compared to the next bloke, Sheasel, who basically did what Day did last week with a 65, it's a week-to-week proposition with these blokes, isn't it? You know, one week I'm worried about him, next week it's him, one will have a good week, one will have a shocker. It's tough when you've got a back line like I do. Really missing a Luke Ryan. That bloke is just killing it at the moment. I could have gone Jack Sinclair as well, because, yeah, unfortunately I've got the Seagull. So that has been an absolute season killer. I'd hate to do the points if I got a Sinclair or a Ryan instead of a Lloyd. There's big points there that I've lost out on. But make your own decisions. You go with your gut there. Himmelberg, this bloke is so frustrating. Like, the role is absolutely there, but he does some dumb things at times. But to claw his way to a 90, that's okay. Look, I was not expecting numbers like last year when he moved to the back line, but I thought, surely you can get to at least 100 to 105 for an average here. I just don't think it's going to happen. He's a talented player, but just does some silly things. Clangers, gets caught out at times. Bit of a frustrating home. But lucky I've got him when we've got the Seagull here with a 31. Nank, you are an absolute dirty dog, mate. Absolute dirty dog, Nank. I was spewing with Nank, because this really hurts. It really hurts. 31, his price is all the way down there to, mid to highish 400s. Just no good. Where I was really lucky here, playing the game for a long time, if you can afford to use a loop in an early game, just in case something like this happens, then I always try to do it. The risk obviously is that if you got another laid out in that line, you're buggered, aren't you? So you're really hedging your bets here that you're not going to have another laid out to be able to do that. But I did that with Lloyd, and yeah, what do I make with Himmelberg there? Yeah, good 60 odd points. So good decision this week, but absolutely spewing with that. He's going to be missing this week. Hopefully just the one. Not too sure. Constable didn't play, obviously. Into the midfield. What's going on here with a red dot? Don't tell me anything's happened with the Bont that I've missed. I bloody hope not. Why has it got a red dot? That means it... You got no idea where he's got a red dot there. That's strange, but look, hopefully he's all right. I'm slightly concerned now, but 123 from Bont, all good. Now, the reason why I didn't VC him this week, and it was either going to be VC, Dacos, or Bont, I was leaning more towards Bont. was the fact that I thought Lachie Neale's going to be the best captain option this week, in my opinion anyway. That was my prediction. So, as I've always said to Spills, make sure that if you can, put your ideal captaincy option as your VC. That's a smart way to do it, I think, anyway, because if you get a Bont with a 123, you've got that really tough decision, don't you? You're like, damn, well, I think Neale's going to go better. Well, I hope he's going to go better, but is it silly not to take a 123? Really tough decision there. So I just want to take that decision, just take the decision completely away and just go with Neale. And it would have been most likely into Rory Laird. I think it was either Zeret, Laird, or Petrarca, and I think I was probably leaning more towards Laird. So yeah, that worked out well because he was the lowest out of the three that I was considering as a backup. But Zeret today, as I mentioned, just super sublime, absolutely silky, this bloke. As an Essendon supporter, it'd be great watching this fella each week because he really did dominate, really set them up early as well, and he's so damaging. It was just amazing. I was saying to Brent, no one was lining up on him around the stoppages, CBAs. He just had a bit of a free rein, which was fantastic for Zeret and fantastic for us as owners. A 136, one of my best calls of the year. I pegged him in, was it around 10, 11? I'm not too sure, but I pegged him in for about a month before that, and he's just done me wonders, Zeret. So thank you very much, mate. Great game from him. Chalky Neale as well. Look, started off like he wasn't too interested, to be quite honest, but still racking up the points. Big last quarter, though. And look, 142 at the end of the day. Fantastic as a captaincy option. I did some early game predictions, put them on Twitter. Had him for a 144, Brisbane for 80-something. And the other prediction was that Will Ashcroft will remind the whole competition why he's the real rising star. So pretty close on all three of those predictions. Absolutely right on Will Ashcroft. Come on, people. I know I'm biased. I am biased, aren't I? But this bloke, Prince Charming, he's going to be an absolute... Here it is. An absolute superstar, this fella, and I reckon as well he'll be built for finals football. So yeah, Spooner had to get rid of him. I didn't have to. I was actually going to keep him as cover, as you would have known if you've been watching the videos, but I ended up going with Himmelberg purely because I didn't have any defensive cover, and Himmelberg can cover forward and back. So yeah, hurt not to have him because I knew they'd go off this game. Been calling it for so long against the Eagles, but yeah, well done to Will. Not even in my side, but still an absolute joy to watch him smash it up. Petrarca, 120. This is slightly concerning. Now, 4 goals is great, but remember he got 4 behinds last week and almost managed to get the same score. I think he's going to lose out on some midfield time. Now, well done, Goody. Get your best midfielder out of the midfield, chuck him up forward. Come on, mate. Please do not do this to me as a relatively new owner. I've only had the bloke for 2 weeks. Same thing, I had Clary for 2 weeks, moved mountains to get him in, traded out Ridley, Rowan Marshall for bloody Gawn. It's been an absolute train wreck. My relationship with Melbourne players this year, bloody Max Gawn, Clary. Petrarca's been very solid for the last couple of weeks, but if he gets played forward, it's going to be very, very tough. But this week against the Lions, to be honest, I wouldn't mind if he does stay a little bit quiet. But it's awkward, isn't it, when you got him in your SuperCoach team, but I want Melbourne to lose. I want Brisbane to win. It's going to be interesting, but I am going this week. So anyone going on Friday night to the G to watch the D's take on the Lions, yeah, make sure you let them know where you are. We'll catch up, say good day. Led I talked about a Sarong, so I didn't actually get to watch the match, but I was listening to it on the way home on the train, and 90 points. I looked at the stats, tackled well, lots of contested possessions, but disposal efficiency was very poor. I think Spills put a tweet out, it was 46% at one stage of the match, maybe second, third quarter, maybe, I'm not too sure. But yeah, that one did hurt because I thought against Carlton, Kerno's out of the side, they're not going to tag, Hewitt's a sub. This bloke should go off, thought it's going to be wet conditions, just suits him, just suits the old schlong. But 90 points, yeah, a bit disappointing, and really only got 15 points over a win taker, so not great, but hopefully going forward he'll be a really good in. Tom Green, 73. This bloke's so frustrating. This is just personal to me, right? But it seems like whenever he scores really, really well, like every one of my league opponents has him, whenever he puts in a dog of a game, it seems like none of my opponents have him. It's just me left in the dead there by myself. So that is frustrating. This was his lowest score of the year. He's actually had his 2 lowest scores in the last month, and I think his 3rd and 4th highest score in the last month as well. So it's been a little bit up and down. So I suppose hopefully the pattern continues and he has 2 really nice games in the 2 coming weeks. But yeah, disappointing there with the 73. Oh, wow. Wow. Talk about unexpected. Now, that 167k, whatever I've got in the bank, was dead set going to be used on this bloke this week to upgrade this guy to just anyone else, basically. Anyone else. Jack STEELE, though, the man of STEELE is back. I tell you what, you would have seen the thumbnail to the team preview this week. I'm absolutely wrapped with this bloke. And if you watched the stocky last week, I gave him an absolute rocket. I took the Superman symbol cape away from him. I actually gave it to Brad Crouch. So I reckon STEELE has actually listened into that stocky and gone, do you know what, DR? No. No one takes my cape, mate. I am the real man of STEELE, and I'll show you why. And thank you very much. And it wasn't just the tackling. He looked hungry. It looked like he was running well. Possessions all over the shop. It was just fantastic from Jack STEELE. Kicked a goal as well. It was just fantastic to see this guy back because, let's be honest, I was expecting, 70s to 80s. Maybe a 90 if I'm lucky. Pushing 3 figures would be an absolute joy. So to see him score a 140, just like the 2021 Jack STEELE, was just so good and a big reason for me going up 500 spots in the ranks this week. So, look, moving forward, I said it last time in his big game, yes, he's back and then, failed for the next couple. I'm not going to say that he's back, but watching him play, and I watch this game really closely, he just looks sublime. So, thank you very much, Jack. And for owners, this is overdue. We deserve this. And let's take it. We absolutely deserve this. So well done, Jack. Stick it up, son. Windy, 75. So, look, I suppose it's handy to know that my 24th man can deliver something like a 75 if I really need it. So, happy with that. But obviously decided not to use him on field this week and trade out Dunkley. Rosen, didn't play. Now, this is a big concern here. Max Gawn. And Kizza, look, still happy with Kizza, but Max Gawn is a big concern here. What the heck was I doing? I got sucked in to this move, making money, downgrading Rowan to Gawn. And look, to be honest, if you take last week's game away, the last month I've been pretty much on track. He hasn't been a total disaster. He's still sitting over 500k, so it's all good. But, when many teams have got, it seems like every team has got Timmy English and Big Rowan there, losing a lot of points, particularly this week. So that really, really hurts. I just don't know what to do with him moving forward. Someone put a tweet out, I forget who it was, but was it Rowan Marshall that spent, was it 5% or 5-6 minutes or something on the bench compared to Gawn's, I think it was 17, Grundy was 20 something. I don't know if that's confirmed, that tweet, but I was reading that and I thought, geez, I may actually need to get out of this pick. I'll go through a couple of my trade scenarios in a minute, and I would love your help as well. But Maxi just not looking like it at the moment. And Big Kizza, man, this guy was absolutely dominating up until half time. And I thought, here we go, 140, 150 coming up from Big Kiz. But I don't know what happened in the third. I'm really not too sure, but I'm pretty sure that by the end of the third quarter, he was actually on about 77 points. And then the last quarter does a few good things, doesn't move much. I think he was around 70, 80, and I reckon in the last 10 minutes, he's gone bang up to that 107. So very interesting the way that he scores. He almost goes in big spurts, it seems like, and then you don't see him for a little while or hear from him on the SuperCoach score sheet. It's it's interesting. But the other thing that really frustrated me was his time on ground. Spent long stints, and it seemed like there were so many stoppages during that time as well, where he could have had his hit-outs, clearances, tackles, you name it. So that was frustrating, the fact that he just spent a long time on the bench, and it wasn't just 4 minutes, 5 minutes on off. It was like 9, 10 minutes. It's like, get this bloke back on, please. So a little bit frustrating, but still a fantastic going Kizza. Remember, I picked him up for, what was it, 200 and something. Just magnificent, the Kizza buy. Onto the forward line. So Errol with a 143. Again, a fantastic score. I think it was Timmy Mitchell got him as a VC this week. So shout out to you, Timmy. You did one better than us that got Lockie Neal, mate. So well done. Terrific bloke, Tim, as well. Also, I reckon it might be, now don't quote me on the date here, and I should know the date. I think it might be the 6th of August. There's going to be a massive SuperCoach catch-up at Crown. There's going to be podcasts there, vlogs, videos, all the rest. Know a few big names that are going to be there, so I'll definitely be there myself, not including myself in the big names whatsoever, but, the blokes from Dr. SuperCoach, I think Cheezo will be there, and, blokes from Jock Reynolds. I got to meet a lot of these fellas last time at the Brains Trust, so if you can get there, I think it's open to everybody. Make sure that you do, because I'd love to catch up with people that watch the channel, and there are some absolute SuperCoach legends out there, some great content creators that will be there. So hopefully I'll see you there in August. I think is it Tigers Dogs game? Maybe before that, after that, I'm not too sure. Speaking about a Tig, Timmy Taranto. So last couple of weeks, have not seen the best of Timmy. Kane Corns, don't even come for this bloke. 2 low weeks, you watch him bounce back. Everyone's got him though. This really does not matter in SuperCoach. Pretty much sort of same thing with Rosie. Scoring well early on. Again, didn't watch this game, but just flicking through the scores. But must have slowed up a little bit. But the stat sheet suggested that he played a pretty good game. Zach Butters, apparently this was a tale of 2 halves. Spills was wrapped with this because originally he was going to go Butters in this week and then Sarong, but we had this members chat. It literally, and if you are interested in becoming a member of the channel, $4 a month, $1 a week, every cent goes to Beyond Blue. But we have these video chats each week, and it was 3 hours, almost 4 hours, 3.5, 4 hours this week, and Spills ended up going away from the Butters selection. So he was wrapped because he can get him in this week. But yeah, apparently tale of 2 halves, did not much at all in the first half and then had a really decent second half. So disappointing for those that traded him in for Dunkley. Sarong was disappointing for Dunkley, and Libba was disappointing for Dunkley if you went there as well. Cogs 119, so real bounce back game from Cogs. I'll tell you what, I still reckon that this bloke gets scored harshly. Massive first quarter, couple of goals. Think it was definitely 10 plus touches. Didn't do much in the second, decent third and fourth, but I thought that the impact that he had in that first quarter, and look, you need to look at the stats with a fine-tooth comb sometimes, but it just seems like he gets ripped off. I don't know if it's owner's bias, but just to the eye, he's much more damaging than when he seems to get scored. So, but look, 119, fantastic. We'll take that, close to 120. DCAM is a bit of a frustrating own, so 80 points. Look, it's okay. Had a red-hot start to the game as well. He was killing Timmy English on the SuperCoach score sheet, but after the first quarter, it was pretty much one-way traffic. Timmy took over, big slim Tim, and Darcy just sort of watched on as the, all-Australian ruckman really, isn't he? Just went to work, and it really hurts. It really hurts. And, geez, come on, at least give Gorney DPP. Didn't quite get there. That's something else I should have mentioned. Do have new DPPs this week. Your Sinclairs, your Dohertys, Dacos, who have all got as well. I might do we'll talk about that in the SuperCoach Sword Play Potty anyway. But, yeah, disappointing own Cameron at the moment. I really did think that he could average at least 95 plus, if not more. Yeah, may have been wrong on that. Probably am. Married to the 44, Duat did not play. So, that's aside. Am I happy? Oh, not bloody overly, but look, we're seeing green arrows most weeks anyway. So, if we go back up to my remaining salary here, 167,700 with 3 trades left. I don't need to trade this week. If you think it's best for me not to trade this week, let me know. It may be the most sensible move. But let's go through a few of the different scenarios that I was tossing up between anyway. The first one was, now, originally it was going to be Will Day. I would love to get Sheezel out, but that's probably not enough for what I want to do. Look, we'll see what we can do with him. Can he get Jack Sinclair? 626 you can't you? So you get Luke Ryan there, you get Jack Sinclair. Anyone but the bloke that I really want to get in if I do get a defender. So we're not going to get rid of Shees at this stage. This is a bloke that I was thinking of moving on. And the bloke that I was thinking of jumping on straight away, well, many others have held for the last 4 weeks, is James Sicily. Now, look, it's a bit of a risk. Look, it's Hawthorn for Hawthorn. Look, not that really matters, but it's a bit of a risk given the fact that, look, Days look pretty good for the last month, apart from that 65, hasn't he? He's looked really nice, 140 plus and 200 pluses. He's really starting to hit form. But James Sicily, he's just that good, isn't he? And you look at what's his 3-round average here? Oh, sorry, I need to get him back out again. If we go by, sorry, what am I doing? Get Sicily out. No, I won't, whatever. But look, his 3-round average, I'm pretty sure it's around a 130 to 140, something like that. I'll do all this research for the stocky. And I think that it could be, at least 30 points a week, at least 30 points a week on someone like a Will Day. So that's definitely something I'm considering. 29k in the bank with 2 trades. So the other thing with Sis is a real pod in under 10% of the top 5% of coaches in the overall ranking. So he's someone I'm really keen on. Another thing that I could do is obviously get STEELE out. He's at 474. So looking at 641 there, you're getting pretty much, anyone you want. That's another option. But really, am I going to trade the great man out after 140? Absolutely not. So I'm not going to do that. This is the thing that I am highly considering at the moment, though. And it's this ruck line. As I mentioned, the ruck line's absolutely killing me. So, Big Maxi, you're just not doing it, son. You're really not doing it. And look, is it time just to bring in Tim English? Is it time? A season average of almost 125, 3-rounder of 130, 5-rounder of 129. Talk about consistency. That is unreal, isn't it? So here's 642. I could simply do that this week. 38,800 remaining with the couple of trades. And that gets you, at least, maybe 30 points again. Where am I benefiting most? That's a big question here. I've got DCAM as that backup. Could I do something crazy? Forward line? No, I don't really want to do that. So, look, I could use maybe some... Look, if I really wanted to, could you go someone like a Gawn to a Sicily? I'll lose my ruck cover, so that's, probably not ideal, but I could actually do that. This is the advantage of having DPP. I just realised that when I was having a bit of a play around, but do I really want DCAM there? You can probably do the same job as what Gawn can do. Possibility. But look, at the moment, I think it's probably going to be Gawn to English or nothing. What are my other options here? Look, midfielders, I could get anyone. Libba, look, I'm really not too sure on. Look, could it be a Tom Green? What have I got for a Windhager? Not enough for much, is it? 445. So can't really do much there. Sheasel, look, you've got your options here. Let me know what you think, guys. So you've got your Will Day to your James Sicily. You've got your Sheasel to a Sinclair, Sheasel to a Ryan. Maybe that might be the play. You've got Gawn to any other ruck. It's got to be Tim English. I'm not getting Marshall back in. It's got to be English. You've got to go the absolute big dog there, I think. Forward line, to be honest, I'm pretty happy there. Cogs maybe, but you're really only looking at bringing back Josh Dunkley. Although Nick Martin today, wonder what he scored. He smashed it today. He is good, Nick Martin. Intercepted, hit the scoreboard, ran hard, disposals. He is an absolute jet, that fella. He is a gun, Nick Martin. So I would actually love to own him as a pod in the forward line. But yeah, look, I want to go an absolute big dog, I think. So most likely it's going to be a Sicily or a Tim English at this stage, or else if you think it's worth just keeping on today and getting rid of Sheasel for more of a Sinclair Ryan type, then that's also a possibility. That's certainly something that I'll contemplate as well. But I'm going to cancel that for now because, got a lot of thinking to do. I literally just walked in the door from the train, said g'day to the wife, gave her a kiss on the cheek. Little fella's already in bed, which was nice. Said g'day to the other two lads and jumped on here. So let's have a look for the VC and captain for this week. All right, so I've got Sydney and the Dogs. So look, you've always got Bond. That red dot's gone as well. Don't know what's going on there. Just chuck the VC on him for now anyway. You got Melbourne, Brisbane. Are Melbourne going to tag Lockie. Not sure. I don't know if Dunks is going to get up. Doesn't seem like it at the moment, but again, that's just gut feel. Petrarca, bloody not as a forward now. That really hurts. That really hurts. Collingwood, Dacos versus Freo. Do you know what? You could pretty much just chuck the VC or captaincy on him each week and be pretty happy with Nick, couldn't you? Do you know, it may be crazy not even to do that. Or even as a backup captain, possibly. You got the Saints and Gold Coast, not doing anything there with Jack Steele. Carlton, no, I wouldn't trust any of the Port boys. Carlton doesn't do me anything. Geelong, Zerrett's been on fire, hasn't he? You know, possibly looking at Zerrett there, maybe look at history. Laird, Dawson, maybe against GWS. Again, another possibility there. North, no good to me. Hawthorn. If you go with a Sicily, maybe. Or else West Coast, Tigers. Would you go Timmy Taranto? Probably not in recent form. I wouldn't anyway. Tim English. Who's he got if I get him in? Oh, I like Hickey. That could be decent. Look, at this stage, look, it's very early, isn't it? It's very early. But I am tempted to go Bont into Nicky D this week. Don't know what Freo do. I'll have to, do a bit of research on that. Or else, depending on who I trade in, maybe an English, maybe a Sicily. You've got the Desk, Rory Laird. Merritt, I think, could be an attractive option as well. But GMHBA, don't know how we go there. Lockie Neal, look, he's been in great form, hasn't he? MCG, I think he played really well against the D's. I don't know if it was this year or it might have been that final. Sarong against Collingwood, nah, not after that. Yeah, that's probably what I'll do for now. Anyway, guys, but this may change. But anyway, let me know what you think I should do. Again, emergencies this week. It'll be windy, marriage there. Any loops for me? Not really, is there? Unless there's something disastrous. Probably not for this week. I think it's probably just safer having marriage there and windy there. I've got nothing in my defensive line. So if I have a defensive out, I'm in a little bit of strife. But hopefully not. Hopefully the SuperCoach gods will be kind to me and everyone else that's watching at the moment. So that's it now, guys. I'll leave you there. I am back at school tomorrow. So yeah, right back into the swing of things. Tell you what, been crook for half the holidays, almost most of the holidays actually, and then back at work. But look, it is what it is. I'll enjoy seeing the kids and all the staff there as well. But that's it for me for now. I'll see you on Tuesday night for the Swordplay Potty, and then also the Stocky later on in the week as well. So all the best, guys. Take care. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers. Bye.